Okay, I did my best to make it kind of prettier. Hopefully it works. I feel like Ghostface would prefer purple. Hello, lovelies, and welcome back to a new episode of Real Nightmares, where we compare the fact to the fiction in your favorite horror media. I'm Katie Adkins, and today we're going to cover my favorite scary movie, Scream. This movie is my favorite scary movie because it's the first one I ever actually really enjoyed that didn't give me nightmares, and it helped me see the genre in a whole new light. It was fall of 2006. I had just turned 14. My brother sat me down and said, "Hey, I was your age when this movie came out. You're gonna sit down and watch it because it's awesome." I was nervous because up until that point, all scary movies ever did was traumatize me.
Oh!
So the aliens can't read our minds.
Oh. Halloween. Dante's Peak.
Hey, Dante's Peak was really scary to me, okay? I really thought that a random volcano could just randomly explode and destroy all of Atlanta, Georgia at any time. Geography was not my strongest subject growing up. But much to my surprise, my brother was right. It was an awesome movie. And to have experienced it in 1996 at 14 had to have been such an experience. Man, he got to experience both Blair Witch and Scream as a teenager. No wonder 80s babies won't shut up about their childhoods. Whatever, my age group got SpongeBob and unfiltered YouTube videos. Your brother had unfiltered YouTube? Yeah, as an adult in his 20s. I, on the other hand, was 12. Big difference. You wouldn't compare someone who was born in 2002 to someone who was born in 2012. Yeah, they're both Gen Z, but you wouldn't compare them. Not all millennials are built the same, okay? There is a difference between the 80s babies and the 90s babies. But joke's on him, because I actually got to meet Matthew Lillard, who plays Stu, a few years ago, and severely embarrassed myself in front of him. It wouldn't have been a true celebrity experience if I hadn't. I'll tell you that story at the end of the video. Anyways, back to Scream. Not many realize this movie was inspired by a true story. And if you haven't seen this movie yet, I am begging you to go watch it immediately, okay? It's my favorite. You have to, okay?
Hello?
The intro to Scream is one of the most iconic scenes in horror history.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters?
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
It's always wild to me that all her doors are unlocked. It's the 90s. You'd think enough people would have learned from the 70s. The film proves to be incredibly self-aware almost immediately as the killer taunts Casey.
You should never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies?
Outlining the fictional rules of movies and applying them to real life. She threatens the caller with Steve.
He's big and he plays football and he'll kick the shit out of you!
I'm getting scared.
And learns Steve was there all along. And then she becomes subjected to a personal nightmare all women have experienced. A man calling them a fake fan and quizzing them to prove our worth to them.
Name the killer in Halloween. No. Come on, it's your favorite scary movie, remember?
Oh, you're a gamer girl? What's the length of Mario's inseam? 2 pixels? Wrong! It's 3 pixels. It's only 2 when he's small, you dumb bitch. That's literally only when he gets a mushroom. He starts off small. The boys in 2006 were just as bad as the boys in 1996. Oh, you listen to Smashing Pumpkins? I bet you only know their greatest hits. I bet you couldn't name any of their real albums. Shut the f*** up, Christian. Okay? Literally nobody cares if you didn't know who Green Day was before American Idiot, Connor. Anyways. Sadly for Casey, this is a scary movie.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th.
Jason!
I'm sorry. That's the wrong answer. You should know Jason's mother, Mrs. Voorhees, was the original killer.
And someone's gotta be the first victim. Drew Barrymore was originally offered the lead role, but she thought it would be more fun to play Casey, the girl who gets axed in the beginning, because no one will see it coming. They used her face and name heavily for advertising, and she's even the biggest person on the poster, yet has the least amount of screen time and is considered a main character about as much as Barbara and Chrissy from Stranger Things. Imagine if the Stranger Things poster looked like this. But Drew thought it would be more fun to trick audiences right at the beginning and set them up for an unexpected ride. And she was right. Now we meet the real main character, Sidney Prescott, and her creepy, low-budget Johnny Depp lookalike boyfriend, Billy Loomis, really knows how to set a mood.
There's so much in television. The Exorcist was on. It got me thinking of you.
It did?
It did. The next day at school, the media is already surrounding the campus with news of Casey and Steve.
Casey Becker, she sits next to me in English. Not anymore.
And we meet Rose McGowan's character, Tatum, whose outfit slays in every scene. Rose actually dressed herself for this film. In an interview with Elle magazine, she says costume designer Cynthia Bergstrom tried to put me in overalls with stacked keds. She goes, "They're very now," and I looked at her and said, "They're very never," and walked out of the room, and then went to the mall to buy her own wardrobe. Period. And honestly, besides Ghostface, which was a costume choice made by director Wes Craven and executive producer Marianne Maddalena, and not the costume designer, I have to admit Rose's outfits are the most memorable and iconic. So Sidney gets interviewed by the police, and we learn that Tatum's brother is the deputy, and Sidney's mom was tragically killed a year prior. And it's used to taunt her the entire film. Naturally, this is the weekend Sidney's father is out of town, and that night, Sidney becomes the next target. Fighting for her life, she locks herself in her room and uses her computer to call 911. Billy shows up with a sketchy phone at just the right and wrong time.
Whoa, wait! Sidney, wait! Hold on! Sidney, come back! Sidney!
Deputy Doofy arrests the creep, and Sidney gets away. Press scot-free.
They sell this costume every 5 and dime in the state. There's no way to track the purchase.
Billy gets interrogated, and Tatum shows up to collect Sidney.
I'm sorry, Deputy Dewey Boy, but we're ready to go now.
He's my superior.
Janitors are superior.
The media is on this town like plague rats, and turns out Sidney already has beef with one of its reporters, Gail Weathers, who has spread the rumor that Sidney wrongfully identified her mother's assailant and that Cotton Weary is not only innocent, but was framed.
I'll send you a copy. Bam! Bitch went down.
Rose also took creative control over her character's bedroom, as it was originally covered in edgy and grungy posters, but she went against production designer Bruce Allen Miller's wishes and requested kitten posters to be put up instead. I wasn't mean, I was just like, I would rather hurt your feelings than please your ego. Subliminally, everything I was putting on these walls, everything I was putting on my body was soft and sweet and cuddly. Rose wanted to show there was a side to Tatum that wasn't just a sarcastic throwaway bitch. She says that way when she died, you'd be emotionally affected. Oh, yeah, spoilers. Well, whatever, you should have watched the movie before watching this. The killer calls and taunts Sidney at Tatum's house, and apparently they don't teach trigger discipline at the local Woodsboro Police Academy.
Hello.
God, I'm having so much fun, you guys. I love this movie.
Why are they doing this?
Are you kidding me? Look at this place. It's like Christmas.
Stupidity leak.
Billy was released and apparently doesn't wash his hands.
You haven't been the same since your mother died.
Is your brain leaking? My mom was killed. I can't believe you're bringing this up.
I know, it's been a year.
Man, the way I'd break up with his ass so fast. Who accepts being spoken to like this? Oh my God. Some Mean Girls talk smack about Sidney in the bathroom.
Maybe she had the hots for Steve and killed them both in a jealous rage. What would Sydney want with Steve? She's her own bubble butt boyfriend, Billy.
Why don't teen girls talk like this anymore? We used to be a country. Sidney literally can't go a full 24 hours without some nonsense happening to her, and she's got some solid jukes. Gail Weathers and Deputy Doofy Dewey have a cringe flirt sesh.
I'm 25 years old.
In a demographic study, I proved to be most popular amongst males 11 to 24. I guess I just missed you. Of course, you don't look a day over 12.
These two actually got married in real life after this movie, if you can believe it. School's officially suspended until further notice, and a town-wide curfew has been put into place. To celebrate, the kids plan a huge rager at Stu's house. Back at the school, the principal is having a moment thinking he's being taunted by one of the students.
Damn little shits.
What'd you call me? Huh?
Not your friend.
Wes Craven can't get enough of his Freddy Krueger homages, I guess. But it's not Freddy this time who takes his next victim.
Starting to sound like some Wes Carpenter flick or something.
Film fanatic Randy suspects Billy still, based on horror movie rules and logic.
Why would he want to kill his own girlfriend?
There's always some stupid bullshit reason to kill your girlfriend.
Come again? As well as some jealousy.
Do you think Sid would go out with me?
No, I don't at all. No.
But Randy insists there's simple rules to every crime based on movies.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
And these rules point toward Billy being the culprit.
Good kid.
Are you telling me that's not a killer?
The terrified town locks up and folks skip town worried that they're next.
God, look at this place. It's the town that dreaded sundown.
A movie also based on a true story. The cell phone report came back and the calls have been traced back to Sydney's father's phone. And tomorrow is the anniversary of Sydney's mother's death. The town already suspects Sydney's mom was having an affair before her untimely death. The police plan to track down the father and zero in on him. Meanwhile, at Stu's house, a house party most teens only dream about. Apparently, kids today don't party anymore? I keep hearing that. Can anyone under the age of 25 confirm whether or not the art of the house party is dead? My formative years. Gail accompanies Dewey to set up a hidden camera, while Dewey reports to Sydney her father is still missing. Tatum is asked to get Stu another beer.
Am I the beer witch?
Tits first, she goes into the garage. You know, I always thought she wasn't wearing a bra here, but I'll be damned. Sometimes you're just equipped like that. And we get to witness the second most iconic scene in the entire movie.
Oh, you want to play psycho killer? Can I be the helpless victim? No, please don't kill me, Mr. Ghostface. I want to be in the sequel.
And then she was. Not before putting up a good fight, though. Billy comes to make amends with Sydney and helps this movie go from rated PG-13 to rated R. We all make mistakes sometimes. Downstairs, Randy lays down the laws of scary movies.
You can never have sex. Big no-no!
Sydney's father's car is found parked down the road from Stu's house, alarming Dewey.
No. They found Principal Henry dead. He was gutted and hung from the goalpost on the football field.
All the students flee the house upon hearing the death of Principal Hembry, hoping to catch a glimpse of his gutted body hanging from the goalpost. So I've asked this before and I'll ask this again. Gen X, are you okay? Like, no, for real, like, are you okay? And Ghostface pounces again, this time on Billy, the ever-elusive Sydney always managing to get away. Damn, that's lucky. Randy also manages to evade Ghostface, but not Gale Weathers, who proves to not perform well under pressure. Luckily, Dewey is back at the house. Oh, never mind. Leaving just Sydney behind. Man, my first car had hand roll-up windows. I can't imagine being attacked in that. Randy and Stu both show up accusing each other, but Sid ain't taking any chances. Billy stumbles down the stairs and convinces Sydney to hand him the gun. Big mistake.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
No, Billy!
Corn syrup. Same stuff they use for pig's blood in Carrie.
The way my 14-year-old jaw dropped at this part.
Surprise, Sydney.
Turns out, Billy is a secret horror movie buff.
You're crazy, both of you.
Actually, we prefer the term psychotic.
They admit to killing Sydney's mother and framing Cotton Weary. Billy's motive being her mother was having an affair with Billy's father.
Total abandonment causes serious deviant behavior.
They tell her their master plan for getting away, dragging her father out to frame him for everything, after they stab each other to pose as victims.
We're gonna carry on and plan the sequel, because let's face it, baby, these days, you gotta have a sequel.
Gale attempts to be useful, but it doesn't last long, but leaves Sydney just enough time to disappear, hide, and call the police.
Hello?
What's your motive? Billy's got one. The police are on their way. What are you gonna tell them?
Peer pressure.
Sydney then gives Billy and Stu a taste of their own medicine.
Did you really call the police?
You bet your sorry ass I did.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad. I always had a thing for you, Sid.
In your dreams.
Coming back from the dead for the millionth time like Michael Myers over here, Gail finally learns how to take the safety off.
Careful. This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Not in my movie. Dad.
Dad! You goober. Slipped my mind. I'm sure this is gonna help her make a killing with her book sales. And thus ends my favorite scary movie. Man, I told myself I'd stop doing these long as hell movie summaries, but I just couldn't help myself with this one. Scream was inspired by the real crimes of Danny Rolling, the Gainesville Ripper, born May 26, 1954, who struck fear in every student at the University of Florida back in 1990. He grew up in a Pentecostal Christian household with a police officer father in Shreveport, Louisiana. Pentecostal is a Christian denomination with fairly extreme practices of worship, including speaking in tongues, believing in prophecies, spiritual healing, and exorcism.
Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
It's widely believed that Danny's father was very abusive towards his son, but that's Danny's word against his. Danny's family denies these allegations. Even his own ex-wife, O'Mather Loomis, claims that his father is quite the opposite of what Danny describes. During her 3-year relationship with him from ages... During her 3-year relationship with him from ages 19 to 21, she said she never saw them argue and never saw his dad so much as curse at him. Nor, she said, did Danny ever complain to her about any childhood beatings or abuse. So, as far as his childhood abuse, she never heard about it. She claims James Rolling was a caring father who provided them furniture, clothing, and bags of groceries when money was short. He helped his son buy a car and even tried to line up a job for him at the fire department. But if you ask Danny, his father was horrifically violent and abusive towards him his whole life. In his teen years, he developed the habit of being a peeping Tom and breaking into people's homes just to hang out in without them knowing. In 1971, at 17, he joined the Air Force and was discharged within 2 years for drug possession and disobeying orders, and went back home to Shreveport, Louisiana to continue his creepy hobby of being a peeping Tom and breaking and entering. At this time is when he met and married O'Mather Loomis and had a daughter together. O'Mather left Danny after he threatened her with a shotgun. As she should. She took their daughter, got full custody, and never looked back. And ironically, Loomis got remarried to a police officer. She was not taking any chances. Throughout 1978 to 1988, he committed a string of armed robberies and built up a rap sheet. November of 1989 is when he broke into the Grisham's home to take his first victims. He killed 55-year-old Tom Grissom, his 8-year-old grandson Sean, and then assaulted 24-year-old Julie before ending her life, meticulously cleaning the crime scene, including cleaning out Julie with vinegar. But he mostly used dish soap. He mostly used dish... Oh my god, I can't say dish soap. He mostly used dish soap to clean up behind himself, doing his best to leave no traces of DNA behind, and then posing her body in an obscene fashion for the police to find. Not too long after this, Danny attempted to take his father's life by shooting him in his kitchen and leaving him for dead. But luckily, he survived the attack. The following year, in August of 1990, he followed 2 college freshmen, Sonia Larson and Christina Powell, home from Walmart and came back at night when they were asleep. He put on his uniform of leather gloves and a ski mask and picked the lock on their back door until it opened. You can imagine what happened to them based on Julie Grissom's tragic ending, but this time with duct tape and post-mortem action, for lack of a better term. So when he was done, he did his little DNA cleanup time, placed them in a provocative pose, and left. The next day, Danny broke into the home of Krista Hoyt while she was out of the house. He stood in the dark alcove near the front door waiting for Krista to return home. When she walked in the door, he attacked her from behind. Same treatment as his other victims. However, this time he removed the head. He posed the body on the end of the bed and then placed the head on the bookshelf as if it was looking at its own body. Ugh. Unsure if a coincidence or not, but Krista was a student at the time who was also working at the county sheriff's office. The following day, Rawlings overheard a couple of students walking by discussing a girl who was decapitated and wondering if this was the work of a serial killer. Knowing his vulgar crimes had already been discovered, he planned his final victim before skipping town. That Monday, he broke into the home of Tracy Paulus and Manny Taboada. Thinking Tracy was home alone, he was surprised to see Manny, a large athletic man, asleep in his room. He took him out first, the noise alerting Tracy in her room. She stepped out of her bedroom, brandishing a curling iron, only to lock eyes with a blood-soaked Danny in the hallway. She locked herself in her room, but with one strong kick, he was able to smash the door open. And you can probably fill in the blanks from there as he did his routine. That week in 1990, the University of Florida campus was in a mass panic, especially with the knowledge that even Manny, a large athletic man, fell victim to the Gainesville Ripper. No one felt safe. Students fled campus only to be replaced by the media, who was desperate to get the full story. We're talking national news coverage hungry for headline-grabbing homicides. Luckily, about a week later, Danny Rawlings was finally arrested for robbing a Winn-Dixie at gunpoint and then crashing his car as he tried to get away. He was already a wanted man for the attempt on his father's life, so the police investigated all of his belongings at his little campsite where he had been living. They found cassette tapes of a whiny-voiced man identifying himself as Danny Rawlings, singing country songs about being an outlaw and making cryptic and incriminating statements that appeared to be about the murders. While incarcerated, he also revealed details to his cellmate only the Gainesville Ripper could know. DNA tests were demanded and they matched it to every scene. Luckily, he wasn't that good at cleaning. Knowing there was no escape, Danny Rawlings stated, "There are some things that you just can't run from." February 13th, 1994, he pleaded guilty in October 2006, he was executed by lethal injection. While Danny pled guilty to these crimes in court, he never accepted personal responsibility for his actions, always having an excuse to avert blame, whether it was the trauma from enduring abuse from his father, or resentment towards his ex-wife, who he accused of cheating, who also tragically resembled Danny's victims, or his most famous excuse, a demon made him do it, claiming he was possessed by a demon named Gemini, an excuse inspired by the film The Exorcist III. While Sandra London was communicating with Rawlings in prison to write his story into the book The Making of a Serial Killer, The Real Story of the Gainesville Killer in the Killer's Own Words, Jesus Christ, what a mouthful, he told her he believed he was possessed by a demon who made him commit these heinous crimes.
I reached out to say I love you. What were my words? All my tears run together, baby, just like rain.
Okay, you get one song and that's it, Mr. Rawlings.
There's a documentary that I honestly had a hard time taking seriously called Scream, The True Story, where they deep dive into the demonic possession theory and even go ghost hunting for Danny Rawlings' spirit. Ugh. To claim these crimes were due to supernatural forces feels like a mockery to me. But that's just my humble opinion as both a skeptic and a hater. But it feels really disrespectful and takes away blame from the true monster in this story, who is Danny Rawlings. Like, don't give him the out that it was a demon. No, that man is a terrible person and should be recognized and viewed as such, not a victim to some demon. But the doc claims that Danny's father was possessed by this demon first, and then it got transferred over to Danny. The whole documentary made me very uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, if you can even call it a documentary, it's just a ghost hunting show. It's just a ghost hunting special. Very loosely would I call it a doc. In 1990, Scream screenwriter Kevin Williamson was inspired to write the film after watching the news reports of the Gainesville Ripper, and then found a mysteriously open window in his own home that night. Between the home invasions, a knife being Rawlings' only weapon, and filling the town of Gainesville with such terror that students fled campus, all inspired elements of Scream, which was originally titled Scary Movie. They changed the title to Scream because of the ghost face mask Wes Craven and Marianne Maddalena chose for their scripted killer, untrademarked and common Halloween mask they saw in a costume shop. The history of the ghost face mask itself is actually a little bit controversial. Many people give credit to Brigitte Sleepless as the creator, but she merely adopted the design from a different creator. Lauren Githens was a special effects makeup artist working in LA at Tony Gardner's Alterian Studios. They had an idea to make fun Halloween costumes for an upcoming Halloween party with everyone who works at the studio. Thought it would be fun to do a take on an old ghost sheet over your head but with a mask attached. He called it the Wailer. This was back in 1985. At this point in time, there wasn't much film work. They thought that they could use their downtime to create a line of Halloween masks. They started out by designing and creating 6 different character masks and ran an ad in Fangoria to see if there was a market. They put together a kit that included a rigid plastic ghost face, glue, and paints. They called it the Ghost Maker. The idea was that you would use your own bed sheet, then attach it and blend it in the ghost face. In 1991, they had them on display at a Halloween trade show in Chicago. Within months after the trade show, however, Fun World gave their new in-house designer, Brigitte Sleepless, a recent graduate of the School of Visual Arts in Manhattan, a project to adapt existing designs into their own line of Halloween ghost masks. About a year later, Lauren had left the special effects industry, only to see that a knockoff version of their Wailer design was being sold in drugstores. When Wes Craven decided this mask had to be the mask for his film, they noticed that there was a resemblance to the Edvard Munch painting Scream, and that inspired them to change the title from Scary Movie to Scream.
Drew Barrymore dies at the start of this painting, doesn't she? Do you know if they've got Scream 2 in this gallery as well?
Scream 2?
Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know Scream 2.
But this was based on the film, wasn't it?
I don't think he'd seen the film.
If you think about the entire franchise, it really does continue to reflect real life with the fact that in Scream 2, they announced the release of the movie Stab, a movie inside the movie that is based on the true story of Sidney Prescott's experience in Scream, which is a direct reflection of Scream, which is based on the true story of Danny Rolling.
It's a classic case of life imitating art, imitating life.
And if you watch the entire franchise, it's even revealed that Billy Loomis did have a daughter that no one talks about, just like Danny Rolling had a daughter that no one talks about. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any more information you'd like to add, please put it in the comments. And as always, please recommend more videos for me to cover. I've had a couple of you suggest some, and I want to give an explanation for why I haven't maybe done a couple of those. It's because either I can't find the movie available to watch anywhere, or at least to watch without like a paywall. But I'm working on it. I check every so often and I do those rotations, so. I know this video was a little late. Hey, better late than never. So I hope you guys had a great November, as this video was supposed to be out in November. It's now December 1st, oops. But until next time, keep it creepy. And hopefully next time I'll have a new camera. I may have to make the next couple of ones on my webcam, but we'll see. Oh my god, okay, yeah, so the embarrassing story about me meeting Matthew Lillard. So we were both at the same party, and I had a couple of drinks at this point because I was nervous and I wanted to at least say hi. And I really wanted an excuse to talk to him outside of being like, hi, I'm a big fan. Can I get a photo, please? My big bright idea at the time was to tell him about this Scream-themed boudoir shoot that I did and maybe show him like a cute photo from it. It was a boudoir shoot I did for the Coin on the Macabre podcast I did with my co-host Kelly a few years back. But before I could show him the photo, he stopped me very concerned and said, "Are you about to show me a photo of your boobs?" Horrified. I said, no, oh my god, no, we are like fully dressed, like it's like a tongue-in-cheek, like there's no nudity, like oh my god. I was like, I would never do that. I'm so sorry that I would never do that. I was like, they're just silly and they're just fun, and I don't know, that'd be fun to show you. And then he said, okay, it's just that's happened to me before and it made me really uncomfortable. And I was like, oh my god, of course, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like hypersexual like at all. I promise I'm not trying to be creepy. And he just, you know, he was really polite and was like, oh yeah, the photos are fun. Like I don't think he was really that enthused. I was so embarrassed. embarrassed. He was nice enough to still take a selfie with me. Yeah, and I walked away from that interaction low-key mortified. So I'm hoping to get a second chance at meeting Matthew. Don't know when we'll be at the same party again, but, you know, second time's the charm.